Obama.
Blog Talk Radio.
This is Team Gooch, and we're in WGS, the best running wrestling and gaming radio show ever, only on Blog Talk Radio. And if you don't like anything we say or do, 1, we respect your opinion. 2, fuck you.
Yeah, you're listening to Flip the Wolfman Jackson on WGS Radio and Block Talk Radio.
Louisiana Championship Wrestling presents Scores and Stripes from the Mammoo Skate Center. That's 98 Main Street, Mammoo, Louisiana. You can call them on 318-664-4609. What's all that about?
GCW presents live 100% chance of pain. July 23rd, the American Legion Hall at 3319 Veteran Memorial Drive in Abbeville, Louisiana. For more ticket information, call 337-366-7480.
WGS Radio is on the air. How's everybody doing? Double B Billy Boudreaux coming on to you with this special WWE Capitol Punishment breakdown and prediction show, as we have WWE Capitol Punishment later tonight. We got a lot to get to, and not only that, it's Father's Day today. So first off, I'd like to wish everybody out there who is a father a very happy Father's Day. And while I set something up a little special right now, go ahead and introduce, ladies and gentlemen, the Studley man, Ashley. Ashley, getting geared up for this pay-per-view tonight, huh?
Yeah, even Obama is going, what's up with that?
So
We certainly will be when it comes round. Whether they're actually going to have a mock Obama there, like they did with Clinton back in the day, I don't know. It'd be ironic, given that WWE and Linda McMahon are staunch Republicans. You know, just saying.
All right.
Sounds like we're calling up Walmart.
Hello?
Hey, Dad. It's me, Billy. I just want to let you know right now, you're live on the air on my show on WGS Radio, and the reason I called you like this is I wanted to wish you a very happy Father's Day in front of all of my listeners. I wanted to tell you how much you mean to me, that you're real special to me, and, you know, you're one of the best dads I've ever, of all time, and I just wanted to tell you that live on the air and let my listeners and let everybody know, you know, just how special you are to me.
Hey, Billy, is that a sucker punch or what? Yeah, well, I appreciate it, buddy.
All right, thank you very much, Dad. Talk to you later.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
There's a little something special I wanted to start out the show with, you know, wishing my father a very happy Father's Day. And like I said before, Ashley, he means a lot to me, and that's why I wanted to do that.
Absolutely. We might as well going through 7 matches on the card isn't going to take that long.
It sure won't, but we got some big matches and some matches that are making me scratch my head. But anyway, if you want to get in on the action, ladies and gentlemen, there are 3 ways you can do it. One, you can call into 914-803-4615. That is 914-803-4615. You can also call in via Skype. It is a free call. via the Skype on Blog Talk Radio, and you can also log into the chat room on blogtalkradio.com/WGS Radio and make your predictions and your thoughts made in the chat room. And for the sake of the podcast, we will read your comments out loud. So, again, we got a lot to get to, and I see we have the Iron Reverend Jake Flair in the chat room. Wait for him to get in on his Skype thing and call in so we can get his thoughts on tonight's pay-per-view. And we got some, like I said, we got some not that many matches to talk about, but still,
7 matches, but all of them are slightly tasty in some sense.
In some sense, indeed. John Cena defending the WWE Championship against R-Truth, Randy Orton defending against Christian, Kofi Kingston defending against Dolph Ziggler, Wade Barrett defending against Ezekiel Jackson, and the Big Show and Alberto Del Rio, CM Punk and Rey Mysterio, and the Miz and Alex Riley. That card, 4 out of the 7 matches are title matches. It's almost like a Night of Champions thing in a sense,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen,
that's ironic because they've basically just confirmed that for the September shows. There was a weird 6-8 week gap between SummerSlam and Hell in a Cell, but now we found out there's basically going to be a 2-week gap between between Night of Champions and Hell in a Cell, which is going to be from your home state of New Orleans, Louisiana, so I'm guessing around then you're going to be seeing Raw and SmackDown in Louisiana as well, so you might be able to get a chance to go to one of those shows, Billy.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he is here, the CEO of Homicide Incorporated, the Iron Reverend Jake Flair. Rev Jake, how you doing today?
I'm good, a little bit tired, didn't get home till almost 6 in the morning, but it's okay. How are you, fellas?
Yeah. If you heard on last night's Game Up, if you listened in or listened to the archive on YouTube or whatever, he went gator hunting.
Reverend Jake took down a 9-foot alligator with a compound bow out of a 12-foot John boat.
Wow.
Hell yeah. Got 20 to 25 pounds of gator tail in my fridge.
Dang. Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, we got a few matches to get to. Again, 4 out of the 7 matches on tonight's WWE Capitol Punishment are title matches. So that is rather peculiar, actually. Normally we don't have that many title matches, almost filling, it's over 50% of the card is title matches.
Yeah, but the other 3 matches are, as I say, very good matches. I don't know which one we're going to start with.
Let's start with this. Talking about this one, the Miz and Alex Riley. Now I know a lot of fans out there have been waiting to see this for the longest time. The way they turned Alex Riley face, they did personally, I think they did a pretty good job on the way they turned him face, and the way they've been building up this huge feud now between him and the Miz, and quite frankly, actually, I'm glad to finally see something out of this kid,
Yeah, no, he's shown potential. This is this I believe is one of the first matches that he's going to be having basically on his own without mentoring by Miz or anybody else, NXT-wise or on any other brand. So it'll be interesting to see how this works out. I'm kind of looking forward to this one.
Hey, Rev, I think this might be Alex Riley's first pay-per-view match ever, I believe, right?
I think so. I mean, I can't even remember seeing him wrestle besides with The Miz. So, it should be a pretty good match. I'm looking for a good show out of Alex Riley.
Now for our predictions for this match, rather difficult to say, rather difficult. Alex Riley's been getting the best of the Miz the past few weeks on Monday night, especially on last Monday night's Raw with the whole incident with him and Roddy Piper. But I believe they're trying, with the way they're going right now, when Alex Riley, they're looking to give him a huge push because they probably saw how well he performed on his face turn and the kind of crowd reaction he's getting, and so I would think they're starting to see something in this kid, Alex Riley, and if they want to continue giving this kid a good push, especially for this feud he's going to have with The Miz. I definitely going to have to go Alex Riley over on The Miz on this one. Ashley, what do you think?
You see, I'm thinking the opposite logic. I'm thinking this is a feud that can go on for another month. It's the next pay-per-view, Money in the Bank. Possibly between the two of them for the Money in the Bank briefcase, possibly. In the Raw Money in the Bank match. So I'm going to say The Miz somehow gets a win, which will continue this on over the next week as they'll both put their hat in the ring for the Raw Money in the Bank if they're leading up to that.
All right, well, Ravjake, what are your thoughts about this match? The Miz versus Alex Riley.
The white guy's going to win. When I make my predictions like that, I'm pretty much been on a streak.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. You've been on a 100% winning streak.
Yes.
Let's get to this next match. CM Punk and Rey Mysterio. Man, oh man. The history in this storyline is just a very profound history with CM Punk and Rey Mysterio. Considering, going back to the Straight Edge Society and the whole spiel he did with Rey Mysterio's kids that was causing quite a bit of controversy at the time, and CM Punk going after Rey Mysterio to get him to, I believe, take off his mask and join the Straight Edge Society, which didn't happen, and it turns out Rey Mysterio won a hair versus mask match, if I remember correctly, and made CM Punk shave his head. So a lot of good. I will say this: these two people, CM Punk and Rey Mysterio, with them working so much over the past couple of years, they know each other really well. They know what they can do in the ring. They know their spots. I'm looking forward to a really good match between these two.
Yeah, it's got the potential with all their previous matches to be a good one, but my only gripe is, why are we having to see this again? You'd have thought that with the reports that CM Punk's supposed to be leaving, they try and have anchored him into some kind of shot for the WWE title, kind of like how they did with Jeff Hardy, which is ironic, because who did Jeff Hardy lose to that night on the Great American Bash in a ladder match and was never seen again in WWE? CM Punk. The Jeff Hardy curse in WWE, seemingly. So, whoever CM Punk drops the title to, their days are numbered. Hopefully it's John Cena.
Well, one thing I will say about the current storyline that CM Punk is involved in with the Straight Edge Nexus, or the new Nexus, rather. But it's a storyline that's just not really panning out. I mean, when Wade Barrett was the head of the Nexus, he was, the Nexus storyline was more relevant. It was more, into it. A lot more focus was put into the Nexus in the storyline when Wade Barrett was the head of it. But now that they split everything up and they made CM Punk the head of the new Nexus with McGillicuddy, with Otunga, and the Faith guy, Batista, Mason Ryan.
Yeah.
It's just not really a relevant storyline anymore. So, but as far as this match goes, I did say before, and I'll say it, about Rey, Crimea River, Mysterio. I'm going to have to go with Rey, Crimea River, Mysterio again. Rey's going to cry and to get his way and to go over on this match. Even though I've said it once before, back at WrestleMania that was going to happen, but that was also at the same time I was also thinking in the back of my head that, they were going to give Cody Rhodes a push, and what better way to give him a really big push than is to, have him get put over by Rey Mysterio. So, but this time around, I don't think CM Punk needs a push from anybody, because CM Punk is a very well-known name. He's, a former multiple-time champion, former tag champion.
Such a well-known name, he wants to keep it.
So, I'm going to have to go with Rey Mysterio over on CM Punk on this one. Ashley, what are your thoughts?
This is a tough one for me to call on. I can see CM Punk winning it, but I honestly think you're going to see... This could be the beginning of the end, possibly, for New Nexus. I think CM Punk could have him easily, sorted and winning. but then Mysterio manages somehow to kick out of like a go to sleep or something. And basically Rey gets prepared to somehow do a 619, just as basically CM Punk is, pissed off the fact that he couldn't make the 3 count. And then just as Rey's going for a 619, New Nexus interfere. And basically lead to, and this is my pick, Rey Mysterio winning, but by disqualification. I see Mysterio winning either cleanly in his usual manner or somehow via disqualification, and possibly that could be shitting ground for the New Nexus thing, because other than the fact that they've got the tag titles now, I've lost faith.
Lost the faith. Just don't go the George Michael route. That's all I'm gonna say, Ashley. Well, let's go to Rev Jake Slayer. Rev Jake, what are your thoughts about this match? CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio.
Well, as much as I don't like CM Punk, I'm tired of seeing Rey Mysterio in a pay-per-view. But it is my understanding there's a special stipulation in this match that if Rey Mysterio wins, CM Punk has to shave off Rey Mysterio's wife's pubic hair and glue it to his eyebrows.
we cannot confirm that.
I know. I read that somewhere. I really did.
I'm going to check WWE.com now to see if it's actually on there. I'd love it if they did.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get your picks in for the show, there are 3 ways to do it. You can call into 914-803-4615. That's 914-803-4615. You can also call in via Skype here on Blog Talk Radio. It is a free call. You can also log in to blogtalkradio.com/WGS Radio and get in our chat room and make your picks in the chat room. We will read them out loud for the sake of the podcast. The next match we're going to take a look at...
Don't read them out quietly. Just kidding.
Well, anyway, the next match we're going to take a look at here is Big Show and Alberto Del Rio. Now, they built this up, quite well over the past few weeks. It all started after Big Show and Kane lost the tag team titles to the New Nexus. And Alberto Del Rio decided to slap the Big Show. Next thing you know, we had the Big Show in the car. And then everything was just going back and forth. And Big Show just, on Friday Night SmackDown, rained destruction all over the place, trying to get his hands on Alberto Del Rio. And, first off, why they're putting these two together, I don't know. I know originally when they first started this, they had to use it to write off Big Show because, he was somewhat injured in his knee as he landed awkwardly in a house show, and they did that to give him some time off to heal, but I didn't think they would turn this into a full-blown storyline between the two, but it's got the makings for a good feud here. Ashley, what are your thoughts about, the way they've been building up this match?
This has got, again, interest, because you've got the big man style of the Big Show. No shit, it clues in his name. Against the more technical submission style of Del Rio. It's a good culture clash, or I was going to say styles clash, but that's another company. This is intriguing. I'm going to say that somehow Del Rio is going to get the win, because I can see this possibly continuing over again into possibly Money in the Bank. You could have those two and the Miz and all the different guys in their different feuds and everything, because you could also drag in the fact that that face-off that Miz and Del Rio had when they were deciding who was going to be #1 contender to the title over the limit, was it?
It might have been.
Yeah, they had a bit. They weren't happy with each other that the one was getting a bigger shot at the title than the other. So overall, yeah, I say that Del Cuifo, Del Rio, whatever, will be making his way.
You know, I'm inclined to agree with you, actually, and one of the reasons why is, you know, considering the fact that Big Show gave a beatdown to Ricardo Rodriguez on Monday Night Raw, for some reason I see him coming out, you know, during this match and behind the referee's back, doing something to either distract the Big Show or maybe hitting him with a weapon behind the referee's back, which would knock him out, and Alberto Del Rio getting the win. You know, somewhere along the lines of that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Rev Jake, what are your thoughts about the Big Show taking on Alberto Del Rio?
I don't really like Alberto Del Rio. Now, he has great in-ring abilities. I mean, he's really good on the mic, but I just can't take that stupid smile, that look on his face. But there's only so much they can do with the Big Show because he's so big. I mean, if you put... I mean, he's like Andre the Giant. If you put the belt on him and he didn't want to lose it, there's nobody that could take it away from him. There's just not. So, I mean, what are you going to do with the Big Show? And hey, look, it's Ministry of Darkness. Hello.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as we turn to the Vlog Talk Radio chat room, Ministry of Darkness is in there, longtime friend of the show. Ministry, how are you doing tonight? Always glad to have you tuning in to WGS Radio as we get set for WWE's Capitol Punishment. Go ahead, and if you want to make your picks in via the chat room, we'll read them out loud for the sake of the podcast as we get set for WWE's Capitol Punishment live tonight on pay-per-view. So go ahead and the matches we talked about so far, Ministry of Darkness, we had The Miz versus Alex Riley, CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio, and the match we just finished talking about, The Big Show versus Alberto Del Rio.
Quifo.
I can't believe that you've realised we've been calling him the wrong name.
Quifo.
Del Quifo. As we welcome in...
Say it again, say it again.
Alberto Del Quifo, as WWE Fan is online too. WWE Fan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very good. How are you doing, Billy?
All right, well, let's get you caught up here before we go any further. The first match we talked about, The Miz versus Alex Riley.
Alex Riley's getting the push, so Alex Riley wins.
Okay, the next match we talked about, CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio.
I guess CM Punk.
And the last match we just finished talking about, The Big Show versus Alberto Del Rio. Del Quifo. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the regular matches, if you know what I mean. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our middle of the show break already. When we get back, we're going to take a look at all 4 title matches, including Wade Barrett defending the Intercontinental title against Ezekiel Jackson. Kofi Kingston defends the United States title against Dolph Ziggler. Randy Orton defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Christian. And John Cena defends the WWE Championship against Little Jimmy. I'm sorry, R-Truth. So, if you guys don't get that joke, I can't help you with that one. Anyway.
You don't get down with that joke, we've got 2 words for it. Bad joke.
So let's go ahead and take a break. You're listening to the WWE Capitol Punishment Breakdown and Prediction Show on WGS Radio.
That I got rug burn on my penis.
After what happened to his uncle Eddie Guerrero back in November.
While at a nature's preserve, beware of the granny waft.
I don't combine my liquor, or else I get a, bad case of Montezuma's revenge.
And that's why we call it Wrestling Talk with an Edge. It's The Rant, live every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern on Blog Talk Radio and Go Fight Live.
Hi, I'm Sonic Fanatic from Aurora Shock Media. What's Aurora Shock Media, you ask? Aurora Shock Media is a group of 6 people whose purpose is to give you quality entertainment in the latest and greatest video games, movies, music videos, and programs. We also provide awesome vlogs and crazy stunts. And because there's 6 of us, we're always coming out with something new. For more information about Aurora Shock Media, go to aurorashockmedia.weebly.com. That's aurorashockmedia.weebly.com. And while you're there, check out some of our cool videos.
Aurora Shock Media. It has begun.
This is Team Cooch, and we're in WGS, the best running wrestling and gaming radio show ever, only on Blog Talk Radio. And if you don't like anything we say or do, 1, we respect your opinion. 2, fuck you.
This year, you'll hear Artist Like These on Rockin' Waves 11-2-94, Don Henley. Lead and Sauce. The Rolling Stones. Frank Zappa.
Hey there, people, I'm Bobby Brown. They say I'm the cutest boy in town.
Yours truly, Fenwick Mouse. The hits old and new are being played all throughout 2011 on Rockin' Waves 11-2-94. Listen online every Friday from 1 to 5. Every Saturday from 10 p.m. until the party ends. Go to blogtv.com/people/Quizmaster1 to listen in on all the hilarity.
I wonder what his voice would sound like if he inhaled helium. I mean, anyway.
Hi, I'm the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. And if you're like me, you're probably thinking about contraception right about now. Do you want to protect your nuts and dirty little sluts? Do you want to avoid being a dick bondage? Well, then we have what you need at the WGS store. It's the WGS Condom Pack. They come in different sizes and flavors, and they are definitely like a share shot to the balls. And remember, at WGS, your cock is safe in our hands.
Warning, WGS Radio is responsible for your therapy bills.
Overture shot sold separately.
Hello, Wrestle Gamer fans. This is GCW superstar Cody Hawkins, and you're listening to the Wrestle Gamer Show on WGS Radio on Blog Talk Radio.
And we are back to the WWE Capitol Punishment Breakdown and Prediction Show. I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux, and I hate blue cheese dressing. Anyway, I guess that joke has run its course. Before we get back to all these matches, we do have the theme, the Capitol Punishment, but as you told me before, there's no lyrics to it. I mean, I think it's just this. Hold on, let me get it set up.
Welcome to the 1990s.
It almost sounds like the opening thing to a bad. It sounds like the opening to a bad License movie.
It basically sounds very much like a Terminator. Let's just say this is not one of Jim Johnson's better words.
No, it is not.
Wow.
Well,
randomly trumpet there, Jim. How do?
Yeah, because, you know, I think I was getting random ear bleeds just from listening to that. Again, ladies and gentlemen, to get in on your prediction show here, there are 3 ways you can do it. You call into 914-803-4615. That is 914-803-4615. You can also log into Skype and call us via Skype. It is a free call. You can also log in to blogtalkradio.com/WGS Radio. Get into our chat room and make your predictions via the chat room. We will read them out loud. As again, we have Ministry of Darkness in our chat room right now. Ministry, again, welcome to the show, and always glad to have you on here. If you want to go ahead and start posting your predictions in the chat room, we'll read them. We'll read them out. Well, he's gone.
He's gone.
No, he's back in the chat room right now.
He just came back. Hi, Ministry. Sorry.
Well, anyway, the matches we talked about so far, Ministry, again, if you want to make your predictions, The Miz versus Alex Riley, CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio, The Big Show versus Alberto Del Rio. So if you want to go ahead and get your predictions in for those, we will read them out loud for the sake of the podcast. And again, we're also on YouTube as well. Again, youtube.com/WrestleGamer. Now,
I'm being distracted by Shane McMahon again. God almighty. Sorry. What it is, the US Open Golf is happening right now, and he's managing Rory McIlroy. What it is, if you're a sports fan, you may have remembered that the last competition that he was in, he was basically 4 shots to the head of the rest, basically choked completely and lost by about 7 shots. He had a crap round. This time, to like rub it in, he's gone ahead by 8 shots on a course where it's hardly rare to do a very decent score, and he's verging on Tiger Woods territory with his score today. So I think Shane McMahon's going to be making a bit of money today alongside his China broadband stuff. So good on you, Shane, and good on you, Rory. Just wanted to say that because it still has wrestling connotations because he's still there.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, I'll say it one more time, the 3 ways you can get in on the show is to call into 914-803-4615. You can also log into Skype and call us via Skype. It is a free call, and you can also log into blogtalkradio.com/WGS Radio and get into our chat room and make your predictions in the chat room. As always, we will read your predictions out loud for the podcast here. So we're going to go ahead and start talking about the first title match, as Ministry is making his predictions for the first 3 matches that we talked about already. I believe he has one up. Anyway, here, crazy people in the chat room. Anyway, the first matchup we're going to talk about is the Intercontinental title match. Wade Barrett defending against Ezekiel Jackson. As I asked Rev Jake, is there any way you can bring Mick in on a conference call?
I tried.
No.
You can't?
No. He's not on my list.
I can barely hear Rev.
Was on my list. I can't find him.
Rev, we're having a little trouble hearing you.
Oh, I can't find Mick on my Skype list.
Well,
he's under Mick.
What? No, it's not. I can't find him. He's not there.
What?
There's a lot of people not there. Oh, man, that crazy psycho horde screwed with this, too. Damn it. But, on the other hand, I do like blue cheese dressing. Would you like to know why? I also like salads. Yes, the evil salad.
I'm gonna be ravaged about that salad for the longest time.
Pretty much.
To the cheese now.
Hey, but you know what? If you ever go to county lockup, they make you toss the salad.
Oh. If you go to Amsterdam, they make you toss the salad as well, but that's another story.
All right, as I get ready to call my therapist. Let's go ahead and talk about the...
Do you use the same therapist as WWE fan?
Well, I don't know if the WWE fan's therapist uses chair shots to the head to get rid of his problem. But anyway, here as we get ready to talk about Wade Barrett defending the Intercontinental title against Ezekiel Jackson. Now, you know, this has been brooding for quite some time between these two. You know, a lot of people didn't agree with the fact that Wade Barrett was, you know, got the Intercontinental title off of Kofi Kingston, but you know, nonetheless, you know, I said it back then, and I'll still say it to this day. It was a fantastic Intercontinental title match between the two, and I believe Wade Barrett was ready for his first championship. And what better way to you know, start off your championship run than having the Intercontinental title? You know, a lot of people in the pro wrestling business today, you know, kind of deem the Intercontinental title to be, you know, the more prestigious title than the WWE Championship in itself. I mean, look at the list of names that have held the Intercontinental title over the years. You know, the Honky Tonk Man, the Ultimate Douchebag, I mean, Ultimate Warrior, the late, great Macho Man Randy Savage, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the list goes on and on. Triple H, the Nature Boy Ric Flair. You know, if you add your name to that list of champions, it's a very, very prestigious list. And for Wade Barrett to be at his name among those people, you know, among the likes of Randy Savage and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Honky Tonk Man as being an Intercontinental champion, you know, that's a big thing for his career. Now, you know, the last time these two had a match, I kind of said that, you know, Ezekiel Jackson's going to win the match, but he's not going to win the title. Is he due for a title run into the WWE, Ezekiel Jackson? Yes, he is. Yes, he is, because, you know, he's got a lot of potential. Again, I still say it to this day about this. You know, Jackson kind of got screwed over, you know, with the WWE ECW Championship, you know, with WWE disbanding the ECW brand right after Ezekiel Jackson wins that title. So, I'm going to go on the limb here. I know I said it before, but I'm going to go with it again. I'm going to say Ezekiel Jackson's going to win the Intercontinental title. You know, also considering the fact that the core is no longer in existence. So, Ezekiel Jackson for the Intercontinental title, as I turn to you, Ashley, and ask you for your thoughts.
Well, you've got to take into account, as you just said, that the core is no more. Or the core, or whatever the hell we're calling them. I guess we can call them in the rubbish bin in the skip now, because, you know, we've got to the core and basically that's not needed anymore, so we've thrown it away. I don't know. Taking that into account, and the fact that basically, no, to excuse the pun, Ezekiel Jackson has been dominating over the past, I don't know, couple of months in his pursuit of Barrett. I think you're going to be having a new name added to that list of Intercontinental Champions. It still could be a good match, although I'm not getting my hopes up because these are two of the fresher guys that are actually on there. Big Show's been around for a while, if you take that. Mysterio and Punk have been around for a while. Miz has been around for a fair few years, but both these guys are relatively fresh in WWE terms, so in that sense, I'm not looking forward to this one as much, but just as I go off and grab my dinner, I will say Ezekiel Jackson for the win, and using a Titus O'Neil phrase, because Titus and Ezekiel look the same, he's going to make it a win.
Wow, Ministry of Darkness has put in his predictions. First off, for The Miz versus Alex Riley, he's picking The Miz. For Big Show versus Alberto Del Rio, he picks the big I'm Gonna Eat Quifo show. So, but let's also welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, the leader of Team Gooch himself, Mick37. Mick, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good. I didn't want to miss another show because I know I miss Gamer Talk and everything, or Game Mode.
Well, you're not the only one anyway. Let's get you caught up here on your thoughts and picks. The first match we talked about tonight was The Miz versus Alex Riley.
I'm gonna have to say The Miz.
All right, and then the next match, CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio.
Punk.
The Big Show versus Alberto Del Rio.
Big Show.
And then the match we're talking about right now, if you want to give us your thoughts on it, the Intercontinental Championship match, Wade Barrett defending against your favorite wrestler, Ezekiel Blackson Jackson.
Jackson Star Child. Jackson.
Well, let's go to the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. Rev Jake, what are your thoughts about this match? Wade Barrett defending the Intercontinental title against Ezekiel Jackson.
This is really good hashish. Holy crap, man. I haven't smoked hashish in so long. This is so good. Now, what was your question, young man?
Well, your thoughts about the Intercontinental title match as Wade Barrett defends the title against Ezekiel Jackson.
When are they having that?
Tonight.
Oh. Man, the black guy, white guy thing's not going to work this time, is it?
No.
Crap. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm not watching the pay-per-view. I didn't watch Impact. I didn't watch Friday Night SmackDown. I'm not watching the pay-per-view, and I'm not watching Monday Night Raw. So for the Wednesday night podcast, I don't have to have any opinions about wrestling, and I can go back to my obligated duties of saying things and insulting our guests and people on the call.
Anyway, he's gonna love.
But I'll go out on
I'll
go out on a limb and say Ezekiel has a good chance of getting the belt, and it's the Intercontinental title, right?
Yes.
Well, of course he's gonna win. He's from Africa. That's another continent, and that would really make it intercontinental.
All right, before we go to WWE Fan and get his thoughts on this match, Ministry of Darkness picks Rey Mysterio to win in the Rey Mysterio versus CM Punk match, and his pick for the Intercontinental title match, he says Ezekiel Blackson is going to win. So, with that being said, let's go to WWE Fan and get his thoughts on this match, the Intercontinental title being defended by Wade Barrett taking on Ezekiel Jackson. WWE Fan, what do you think?
Ezekiel Jackson.
Gonna go Ezekiel Jackson and win the title tonight? Because you got to feel the same way I do. I mean, the man is overdue to have a title run in the WWE.
Yes, and he's getting the push he needs right now.
All right, now let's go on to this next match here, ladies and gentlemen. It's Kofi Kingston defending the United States title against Dolph Ziggler. Now, these two, they had quite the good series on Friday Night SmackDown when Kofi was defending the Intercontinental title in a series of matches against Dolph Ziggler. So these two know each other really well. They know how to work, and they know how each other works in the ring. They know, again, it's pretty much almost in the same scenario as CM Punk and Rey Mysterio. These two have worked together many times before, so they know what each other can do, and they know how to put on a good match. But as far as who's going to win tonight, well, let me say this. Stone Cold Steve Austin on Monday Night Raw, a WWE fan, he had quite the funny skit involving Dolph Ziggler and Vicky Guerrero in order to set up this match for tonight, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, when Ashley's here too. Ashley, wouldn't you agree that was like quite the funny segment with Stone Cold, Dolph, and Vicky?
Well, yeah. Now, I'm hoping that stays as a thing, because I honestly think now is the time that Dolph Ziggler needs to run on his own. I mean, when you look at Shawn Michaels, how long was he with Sensational Sherry? About a year? When he went solo, roughly?
About.
So I think the time is now right for Ziggles to run out on his own, and whether this will turn into some kind of face turn, or whether it'll be some kind of stay as a heel. In that sense, I'd put him as a strong contender to either win tonight, or either him or Kofi. I think just at that point, they can go and do a Swagger or a Miz or a Kane and go for that belt and via winning Money in the Bank.
Well, here's my my opinion on who's going to win the match. I'm going to have to go with Kofi Kingston. Just based on just this analogy right here. Just like Vicky Guerrero's sex life, Dolph Ziggler's going to come up short.
Oh.
Anyway, since Ashley appears to be the only one that got that joke, Ministry of Darkness. Well, yeah, I know you got it, but because you're filthy enough to think about that one there, Mick. Anyway, Ministry of Darkness. Ministry of Darkness in the chat room picks Kofi Kingston to win in the United States title match. Well, and let's go to you, Mick, and give us your thoughts about this match. Kofi Kingston defending the United States title against Dolph. I got a tiny dick that jiggles sideways just for Vicky Guerrero to queef in my face, Ziggler. Well, that was a mouthful. Then again, that was a bad time to say that, too.
Yeah. It's never a good time to say it.
Mick, your thoughts?
I'm going to have to say Kofi, because Dolph Ziggler will bring back Mikey and Mickey and the rest of the queers.
Oh, no, not the queer squad again. That was horrible enough. Let's go to the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. Rev Jake, your thoughts about this one. Kofi Kingston defending the United States title against Dolph, a kind of tiny dick that jiggles sideways because China's clit is so big, Ziggler.
Well, Mick mentioned something that I already had on my mind, where Dolph Ziggler is always going to be to me like Eric Young, Eugene, Maniac, Matt Bourne, the original Doink the Clown. And, he's like one of the Bradys. You can't escape what you did before. He's always going to be Nikki, the gay-ass male cheerleader to me. And, it's like he can dye his hair, he can, hump Vicky. He's still always going to be a dancing clown.
I know, I feel bad for his hair, considering the fact, 1 week he's got black hair, the next week he's got blonde hair. I mean, his poor hair particles got to be suffocating on his head from all the hair dye and hair color changes he's been doing.
He also needs to get that big mole on his lip lasered off. That freaks me out.
That isn't a mole, that's actually Vicky Guerrero's queef.
Oh, I don't know, but it needs to go away.
As we go to a WWE fan who probably in need of a licensed therapist after what I just said and get his thoughts about the United States title match. Kofi Kingston defending against Dolph Ziggler.
Kofi Kingston.
Good pick there. Kofi Kingston, they got too much, they have a... The way I look at it, guys, is Kofi Kingston has a really big push going for him as the United States champion. He's been on a great run. Back on Monday Night Raw, he and Evan Bourne had a great tag match against Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler. I mean, it was fantastic. And I believe that was the very first time we ever seen Kofi Kingston do the Trouble in Paradise on the ring apron. And I thought that was, expertly done. I thought, you would need more space to do that, but, Kofi Kingston, again, proving everybody wrong. So, let's go ahead and get to the World Heavyweight Champion.
My pick.
Oh, I thought you did already.
No, I said either one of them would be perfect to win Money in the Bank. But I think I'm going to have to go against everybody. I'm going to say Ziggler's going to get it. Because I think this is going to be Ziggler starts winning titles as soon as he's rid of Vicky. Perhaps they're actually going to let Vicky either manage somebody else or just leave the business, because I think she's for what she's done in the 3-4 years that she's been there since the passing of Eddie, she's done a pretty good job. She's got herself over as a heel pretty good, as a manager and everything, and as a chick who likes to date Big Show, Edge, and Dolph Ziggler. There you go. But my pick is Ziggler.
Well, I'm going to have to agree with you on one account. Vicky Guerrero really has gotten herself over as a heel very, very well, and I'm pretty sure Eddie upstairs is very proud of the job that she's doing in the WWE.
Her, excuse me, is verging on what territory?
Yeah, excuse me, I queef. Anyway, let's go to
I was playing SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 on Rey Mysterio's thing.
Uh-huh.
For some reason. Well, basically because I'm trying to complete everything. And there is one line where Rey Mysterio goes, Jack, it doesn't matter what you, and then it gets cut off. I was like, Rey Mysterio thinks he's The Rock? What the hell? Because it's that instant recognition, and I honestly think, if people say, excuse me, you notice how, Michael Cole, when, the old,
and like,
where is it? No, but not that, but when you hear the immortal, he doesn't say, excuse me, he says, may I have your attention, please? Because if he said, excuse me, then the implication would be that Vicky Guerrero is the Raw General Manager, which he could be. I mean, anybody could be the Raw. Randy Savage could even be the Raw General Manager.
Oh, that's not right.
I wouldn't be surprised. Hell, well, I guess they couldn't really do that now, given that they're PG. During the days of the Attitude Era, it could have been even Katie Vick in the coffin. You never,
And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this also signifies that Derby fan just passed a stone. Anyway, let's kidney stone, guys. Come on. Anyway, let's go into and look at the World Heavyweight Championship. Mick just got the joke. Thank you, Mick.
What you meant, Keystone?
Oh God. Anyway, let's go to the World Heavyweight Championship match as Randy Orton defends the title against Christian. You want to talk about a lot of work put into this match and building it up and everything. And actually, as you'll probably tell us, this match almost didn't happen because of an injury that happened to Randy Orton at a house show.
Yeah, last weekend, SmackDown went on a tour to Spain, and at the Madrid show, which I believe was on Saturday or Sunday, Orton suffered a legit concussion. They were doing the old excuse on Raw this past week, saying, "Oh no, it happened when he got hit on the head with a title belt on Friday SmackDown," which is bull. But yeah, he messaged along on Thursday, or it was yesterday, I believe. No, Friday, sorry. But he was going in for his impact test, and that's the test basically to prove that you've not got the concussion anymore, to see whether you're going to be wrestling. Luckily, and thankfully, he managed to pass that test. So we do have a one-on-one match, but I'm wondering, that might have been why they had the match between Sheamus and Christian end the way it did. I mean, Christian won, but the interference from Orton, that's the other thing I didn't get. During the middle of Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Superstar talking, then Raw General Manager gets involved. Why should he get involved on something that's on the other brand?
Oh, maybe because they're on his show on Monday Night Raw?
Perhaps, well, possibly, and also perhaps, Teddy Long was off down at the horses, gambling all his money away.
Ravjik, let me ask you this about this match. Do you see Sheamus getting involved in any fashion whatsoever in this title match?
Sure, why not?
Mick, what do you think? Do you think the same thing, that it's possibly we could see Sheamus getting involved in the Randy Orton Christian match?
Yes, we could see young Redbeard.
No.
Question is, will Sheamus be from Cleveland?
Now, I think one of the sole things that'll be different about this match than it was at the Over the Limit pay-per-view. At the Over the Limit pay-per-view, it was face. Face versus face. Here tonight on Capitol Punishment, it's face versus heel. Randy Orton, face, Christian heel. So it makes me kind of wonder, could they be putting the title on a heel Christian, and would it be time for him to, get the title back, as a heel? That's the thing I'm trying to hard, because, Randy Orton is such on a big role right now. I mean, he's a huge draw for the WWE on Friday Night SmackDown, especially with the World Heavyweight title on him. So I really don't see that him dropping it to Christian tonight. it's just the feeling I have. I have to go with my gut feeling, and my gut is telling me that Randy Orton is going to keep the title tonight. And Rev Jack, I'm going to beat you to the punch. Yes, I got a big gut. And anyway, let's go to Ashley. Ashley, your thoughts about this match. World Heavyweight Championship on the line as Randy Orton defends against Christian.
This is another one of these tough ones to... You know, it's good when you get tough ones because then you don't know which direction they could go, because they could go with the Christian thing and make this feud go on for another month into the Money in the Bank show, and possibly even as far as SummerSlam, because I think this storyline has got enough going with it, because it's doing that kind of thing that they never did with Kane 10 years ago. You know, when Kane held it for one night and didn't really go for the title after that. So, you know, my heart says Christian, because I want to see him go for a title longer than a week. But my head, ironic that I use this, my head says Orton. Because I think that's he's over the concussion. They need to get... I think he'll have the belt for a few more months, but this is one of those ones where I'd like to be proved wrong. I don't mind either one of them having the belt at the end of the night.
Yeah, but like I said, it's really difficult to, you know, put a prediction on it, put a stamp on it saying, you know, this is who we think is going to win, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But Ministry already has his pick in the chat room. He picks Randy Orton to win the match tonight. So with that being said, let's go to the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. Rev Jake, your thoughts about this one? The World Heavyweight title on the line as Randy Orton defends against Christian.
As long as Jack doesn't get involved, I don't really care who wins.
Okay. Well,
just say the white guy wins.
Oh, long as Jack's not there, I don't care.
All right, well, let's go to Mick37. Mick, what are your thoughts about this one? The World Heavyweight title on the line, Randy Orton defending against Christian.
Well, I wouldn't mind either one of them winning. So I'm just gonna close my eyes and throw the ball and say Christian.
Okay. WWE fan, what do you think?
I say Randy Orton wins, and if Sheamus does get involved, Sheamus, please bring the mayonnaise when you come.
Wow.
No, he'll bring the suntan lotion because he'll have got it confused with the mayonnaise.
Oh.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get set as we get ready to talk about this match. The WWE title on the line as John Cena defends against Little Jimmy. No, I'm sorry, it's R-Truth. Now, this new persona of R-Truth, this paranoid schizo persona of R-Truth, is just, you know, really out there, huh, Ash?
Brilliant. It's one of the most refreshing heel turns I've seen in ages. Because the way it was done, I wasn't sure about it with the whole cigarette stuff that happened in London a few months back. The cigarette smoking thing, that was a bit odd. And then the whole, but the way it's worked out, you know, okay, the chucking the water, you know, chucking the drink in the fan's face wasn't brilliant, but it's kind of been very clever, the way they've built this up with him becoming, you know, paranoid. It's kind of like Christian. And Christian becomes paranoid that he had the title and lost it. R-Truth's become paranoid because he still hasn't won the title.
And the fact
not taking into account his whole TNA, NWA stuff. But, you know, when they did that bit which was cut out with the audio, when he was trashing, you know, the backstage because he saw John Cena cups and John Cena t-shirts, you know, not to give him a mention because he won't appear tonight, but, you know, even Rev went, Zack Ryder's got a t-shirt? And has R-Truth got one? No.
Well, I think
I think we found out who Little Jimmy was on Monday, though.
Apparently
it's Jomo, and I think Jomo could be a factor in tonight, possibly. I don't know whether that was just a one-off appearance to make you think he's back, where he's still got a heel from his injury or not. Because sometimes WWE have done that, so we shall have to wait and see.
Now, the major question we're going to be asking tonight, especially when it comes to this match, will the truth set you free? That's the major thing. Now, was R-Truth due for a WWE Championship match? Will the WWE put stock behind him and by making him the WWE Championship tonight? Well, as far as I'm concerned, John Cena has been and will always be the poster boy for the WWE, and with the push they're giving him now and the role he's been on now for, I don't see him dropping the title to R-Truth tonight. And after he loses tonight, that's going to make R-Truth even more schizo and more paranoid. Everybody's going to be Little Jimmy. Even when he looks in his reflection, he's going to think that's Little Jimmy, and even when he's looking down to use the urinal, he's going to say, "Hey, look, it's Little Jimmy." Anyway. John Cena, my pick is John Cena. Ministry of Darkness, he says he picks the white guy to win the match. Actually, what are your thoughts?
Well, given that we've heard these stories that Cena's injured, well, not injured, but he's hurting from sore ribs and a sore knee and sore shoulders and stuff like that, you've got to take into account the WrestleMania factor. However many days it was ago, the day after WrestleMania, they confirmed that 360-something days after that day, WrestleMania 28 would be headlined with Rock and Cena. Now, let's say, Cena stays on in his injured state, and eventually has a more serious injury that puts him out for something like 6 to 9 months. Boom, WrestleMania's gone. So the best thing to do is make sure he's fit and well, to be honest. So I don't think he's going to drop the title tonight. I say Cena's going to win, but he could, I could see possibly after the match or tomorrow, R-Truth in his continued schizo phrase attacks him so much that he's, kayfabe, injured and put out for ages. Or Cena loses the title possibly tomorrow night in this Power to the People thing that they're doing. When I see the adverts for that, they use a John Lennon track, so apparently John Lennon endorses the WWE. Who knew? But yeah, from what I can see from that is that is from there you could give CM Punk a final title run.
Yeah.
To acknowledge everything that he's done, and then have Cena possibly get it back. Give him some time perhaps on the undercard, like where the Miz is at the minute, rather than be on a title run, and let him get some rest, because I think he needs some. Possibly, because SummerSlam, I think The Rock's going to appear, because it's, in LA where he lives now. But I'm saying possibly give it back to Cena around, I don't know, what is it called? Vengeance, is it? In late October, what was bragging rights? Around Vengeance Survivor Series time, and let him have the title up until WrestleMania from there. And then you can have the title match between Rock and Cena.
Well, I think it's safe to say that we've never really given R-Truth enough credit. We never really put too much stock into him because he's always been, lower mid-card. He's never really done anything to stand out until he's done this heel turn. But has he done enough to stand out to the point where WWE wants to put a title on him, a major championship title on him, and run with him as like the WWE champion? And at this point in time, I have to say no. They have not done enough with him. He is over as a heel, yes, but is he over to the point where his name is recognizable? You can put stock behind this dude. Can R-Truth carry not only Monday Night Raw, but the WWE, in a sense, as the WWE champion. And I would have to say, at this point in time, with what he's doing right now, I don't think he can. I don't think he can do it. You know, I have a lot of respect for what he can do in the ring, and the fact that he's doing a really good heel turn, you know, with this paranoid schizo character that he's doing. But I don't think it's quite enough yet. You know, it's just not the right time for him to be champion. You know, we could be wrong. You know, we've been wrong. I've been wrong. Ashley's been wrong. We've all been wrong in the past before. But, you know, this is what I feel about this. And I feel that R-Truth, you know, at this point in time, is just not ready to have that kind of responsibility put on his shoulders. You know, to be the man, you know, to carry the Monday Night Raw program, to be kind of, you know, when you're the WWE champion, you're kind of like John Cena in a sense. You're the poster boy. You're supposed to be the face of the brand. You're supposed to be the guy that goes out there, you know, and represents the company as the champion. You know, we all know, you know, all the behind-the-scenes things and stuff like that. But, you know, when you go out there, you're supposed to represent the company. And, you know, I just don't see R-Truth, you know, making it, you know, as a good rep for the company. You know, he's a great guy and all, but, you know, with the gimmick he's got going on, and especially at this, you know, point in time, it's just not the right time for him to be champion. That's what I feel. So that's why I'm going with John Cena to retain the title tonight. Mick37, what do you think about this match? The WWE Championship on the line as John Cena defends against R-Truth.
Jack Wiener. I mean, John Cena.
Right, by the way, you may have mentioned, the fact, when you were talking about Randy Orton and Christian, about a man named Jack. Who the hell was Jack?
Well, an interesting concept, because with this R-Truth match that you're talking about, I don't ever see R-Truth having a heavyweight title. Maybe like Intercontinental title, U.S. title. I don't think that he's ever going to have a heavyweight belt, but I definitely think this is going to be the match that Jack runs down to the ring and interferes.
Do you feel kind of the same way that I feel, that, you know, R-Truth, you know, they just can't put stock on him, that they don't see him, you know, being able to carry a show like Monday Night Raw as a WWE champion?
Well, they just turned him into a Eugene and Doink the Clown and Eric Young wannabe by making him crazy with the little Jimmy thing. He's never going to live that down.
All right, well,
the Jack I was making reference to is not Jack Swagger. It's Jack me up, sausage eater.
oh, man. Well, let's go to as I get ready to puke, let's go to WWE Fan to get his thoughts about this match. The WWE Championship on the line. John Cena defending the title against R-Truth.
Okay, R-Truth wins by disqualification because little Jimmy attacks referee.
Oh, God. You know, little Jimmy had to play a part in it somehow, but, you know, back to what I was saying about R-Truth and my whole feelings behind it. Ashley, would you agree, you know, with that? You know, that R-Truth, you know, the heel turn he's been doing is great. It's getting him out there, but I just don't see him ever going past upper mid-Carter status.
Well, that's what a lot of people said about The Miz. That's what a lot of people said about Jack Swagger, but they both went on to be world champions. I would be surprised if they...
Well, let me stop you right there. Miz, we can safely classify Miz as the top heel on Monday Night Raw. We're all in agreement on that one? Miz is the top heel on Monday Night Raw?
Yes.
I'd put him up there, yeah.
All right, and Jack Swagger, he's pretty much almost at that same level as The Miz, you know, garnishing heat. Do you see... I don't see R-Truth getting anywhere near that kind of status with this paranoid schizo character, Ashley. If they change up the character a little bit, it's quite possible he could gain that kind of heat. But with the paranoid... In a sense, the paranoid schizo character, Ash, is kind of comedic in a sense, too.
Yeah, and I think that's what the fans want to see. They don't want to see a proper heel go over and beat John Cena. Or, you've got the Cena lovers and you've got the Cena haters. I mean, every time you hear mixed reaction, you hear the kids going, wow, and the dad's going, mm.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Ministry just put a comment in the chat room. It's a question about Rev. He wants to know, is Rev Jimmy?
No. Never.
Frankly, he isn't. If he was, I think R-Truth wouldn't be, R-Truth would be dead by now.
All right,
Jimmy's attacking me?
Would either be dead or high.
Or both.
Well,
yeah.
Anyway, on that note, it's time to get everyone's overall thoughts about Capitol Punishment. What do you hope and expect to see out of the WWE tonight at Capitol Punishment? Ashley, I'm going to start with you.
I expect a pretty good show. If they do the matches right, there's a lot of good matches there. The only problem is there isn't a Divas match on this.
You consider that a problem?
No, but the problem is that means it's going to appear. I'd like forewarning of a Divas match before, I'd like forewarning for a Divas match rather than, we're going to make an impromptu match on the pay-per-view. I'd prefer it if they actually said, on a SmackDown or a Raw that Brie Bella will be defending her title against Nikki or something. Rather than just leave it there and then it's like, and we now have a special match for you, a Divas match. It's not special, it's just to fill in time because, your match is shit and all the other 7 are brilliant. I hate to see Michael Cole diss the Divas products, but that's what quite a lot of people have been thinking about the Divas now. But ever since Trish went and Lita went in 06, basically the Divas title has basically meant nothing. Ever since the Lake-All gimmick back in 08, 09. And that's just, that's the only problem for me. We're going to see a Divas match.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to Mick37. And by the way, Mick37's final thoughts on WWE Capitol Punishment has been brought to you by Mick's Word of the Week. Mick, what is your word of the week? And Mick, your final thoughts, your overall thoughts about Capitol Punishment. What do you hope and expect to see out of the WWE tonight? A lot, he says.
Yes, pretty much. I expect to see a lot because TNA ain't been showing me too much lately, but I did like the getting his ass.
I thought you said I like cookies.
Well, let's go to the Iron Reverend Jake Slater. Before we do that, Ministry has a little comment for you. Mick is probably still searching for... Ministry has a little comment for you, Mick. He says, Mick is probably still searching for his little Jimmy. As we welcome a new person into the...
Ministry, if you're listening, I don't think he got it.
I don't think he did. As we welcome a new guy here into the Blog Talk Radio chat room, Mr. J.R. Hughes. J.R. Hughes, welcome to WGS Radio. Here we're wrapping up our thoughts about WWE Capitol Punishment, our breakdown and predictions on each match and what we hope to see out of the pay-per-view tonight. If you want to go ahead and if you want to call in via Skype or your phone, or if you want to put your thoughts here in the chat room as we continue on, because we'll be on for about probably another 10 minutes at best here for WWE Capitol Punishment. As we go to the Iron Reverend Jake Slater and get his final thoughts on WWE Capitol Punishment.
Oh man, I could have taken such a cheap shot. Ashley just added another reason for the list. Because you apparently don't like dancing whores. Goodness gracious. What's the world?
Dancing whores are Impact Wrestling.
Oh, no. They all have dancing whores. I just said TNA Impact has better dancing whores. So.
Yeah, but the thing about TNA is they have wrestling dancing horse.
You got a point there. So they have wrestling horse. And TNA pretty much has no talent with strippers. Oh, God.
Yeah.
See, this is why I'm going to boycott wrestling. Yes, all together. I'm going to be anti-wrestling. I'm going to make my own YouTube video called Who Gives a Shit or the Real Story Behind Pro-Fake Wrestling. Yes, look for it too on YouTube at Slayer. No, actually, it's the Iron Reverend. I'm sorry. My bad.
Let's go to WWE Fan. WWE Fan, your final thoughts on... Wow, we got a WGS Radio 9940. Wow. Anyway, WWE Fan, your final thoughts on WWE Capitol Punishment tonight.
Okay, it's going to be a good pay-per-view, and I do agree with Ashley that it might be Kelly, one of the Bella twins faces Kelly, in my opinion, and Kelly, since Kelly's been getting the push, Kelly wins if that match happens. And the fans could care less about it.
Well, as we wait for our new guest here if they, in the chat room, especially Mr. J.R. Hughes, if he wants to make any final comments or on his thoughts about WWE Capitol Punishment tonight, let me go ahead and voice my opinion. It looks like a great card. Considering the fact that over 50% of this card will be title matches. I mean, 4 out of the 7. The Intercontinental title, the United States title, World Heavyweight Championship, and the WWE Championship. If they, if they want to do impromptu title matches, I think the only way they can complete the spread is by doing a tag team title match that they'll probably will announce the night of the pay-per-view. In fact, they'll probably announce it at the start of the show. You never know. But, and if they did that, that would be a complete spread and almost a slap in the face of Night of Champions. But anyway, it looks like a great card. I'm really looking forward to the Randy Orton Christian match and the way it's going to pan out, because again, the last pay-per-view had Over the Limit. We had face versus face. Randy Orton face versus Christian face. We might see a different outcome with now we're having a face versus heel. Face Randy Orton versus heel Christian. We could possibly see a different outcome. Another match I'm really going to look forward to watching is the Kofi Kingston Dolph Ziggler match, because again, these two have worked so well together in the past before, and I'm expecting good things out of them tonight. And CM Punk and Rey Mysterio, even though I don't have that much respect for Rey Mysterio, again, these two know how to work with each other. They've done a lot of good stuff in the past, and I really want to see something out of Alex Riley tonight. Ashley, we gotta, if he wants to start making it big, even with his face turn, if he wants to start making it big, he's got to show us something tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm kind of. He's got to do something big. In my personal opinion, I don't think he's going to win and go over, because I think you can still push him further. But I think it's going to be a good showing from him tonight.
Well, Mr. J.R. Hughes in the chat room says, whilst I think there is a good card, I think outcomes can be predicted. I can't see where we could be surprised, but I do hope I'm wrong. And that lives up to the old adage, Mr. J.R. Hughes, that, when wrestling becomes predictable, it becomes boring. Sometimes that, if we can see the outcome coming, it really drags down the match. It really drags down the entertainment value of a match. Mr. J.R. Hughes' next comment says, if A-Right doesn't get a win, he can't really go anywhere, to be honest, in my opinion. And I agree. That's probably something big that we need to see out of A-Right tonight. If he does not get the win, then where does he go? I mean, what does he do? I mean, the whole basis for his face turn is the feud he's having with The Miz. So if he really wants to show us something tonight, then they have to let him win. They have to put him over in his match against The Miz tonight. Mr. J.R. Hughes, if you want to go ahead, I'll read you the card really quickly again if you want to put in your thoughts on it and your predictions. We just had Miz versus Alex Riley. You already have that out there. We also have CM Punk taking on Rey Mysterio. We have the Big Show taking on Alberto Del Rio. We call him Del Rio on here. We have Wayne Barrett defending the Intercontinental title against Ezekiel Jackson. Kofi Kingston defending the United States title against Dolph Ziggler. The World Heavyweight Championship match, Randy Orton defending against Christian. And the WWE Championship match, John Cena defending against Little Jimmy, a.k.a. R-Truth. If you want to very quickly put in your predictions, I'll read them out loud for the sake of the podcast, because our show, WGS Radio, can also be heard on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/WrestleGamer, and the show can also be downloaded on iTunes. It is a free download. So, again, you know, those are the few matches that I'm looking forward to. You know, again, you know, Alex Riley has to show us something tonight to make his face turn, you know, that much better. He has to show us something tonight. Now, let me ask you guys this. You know, starting with you, Ashley. You know, out of all the matches you see on this card, you know, including the title matches, do you see any of these matches being, quote, a filler match tonight on the pay-per-view? That's a hard question.
That's a tough one, but possibly the Punk Mysterio, because that's got the weakest storyline, because it's happened over and over. That's the only one that could be seen as a filler, in my opinion.
Minister of Darkness says in the chat, when wrestling becomes predictable, it has caused me not watch wrestling properly the past month.
That kind of is... Well, there may be something that may pee off quite a lot of you in the chat room. We have a new world champion in wrestling, and his name is Jeff Jarrett.
Wait, what?
Yeah, well, I'll do this as a side mention because it's, you know, we're talking WWE stuff here, but we'll mention this because I just spotted it and I thought, okay, this is how they're going to work the storyline. The storyline was there was a match on Impact Wrestling between Angle and Jarrett in a parking lot brawl, and if Jarrett lost, he'd go to Mexico. Well, apparently he lost, even though he never said it. And at the AAA Triple Mania show that happened last night in Mexico, Jeff Jarrett came in and won the AAA World title.
Wow.
Because TNA, there were loads of TNA stars there as well, you see. Because what it is, it's part of a talent trade-off thing between AAA and Impact TNA, whatever you call them. So, I honestly think that's what's happening there. That's how they're working that out. He's going to be kind of going. You know, it's going to be a Mexican invasion. I think J.R. Hughes has put in his picks.
You want to go ahead and rematch?
Yeah, for Rey Mysterio versus CM Punk, he goes for Punk. For Del Quifo versus Big Show, he's gone for Del Quifo. He picks Alex Riley over the Miz, Kofi Kingston over Dolph Ziggler, Ezekiel Jackson over Wade Barrett. God, I forgot the bloke's name, and he's from my bloody country. Christian will win the World Heavyweight title against Orton, and Cena will retain the WWE title against R-Truth, Little Jimmy, and Zack Ryder.
And this is what he says about his picks. He says, that's kind of a mixture of what I think will happen and what I want, because they don't seem to match. Interesting comment there, Mr. Hughes. And as a new follower, as a new person here in the chat room, I'd like to recommend that you follow us here, because we do our programs, our general wrestling programs, on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time, where we take a look at all the shows. You know, we talk about what matters to us in pro wrestling, and the big topics to talk about.
Yeah, to us wrestling doesn't matter.
Anyway,
but, you know, we seem to talk more wrestling than Impact Wrestling does, despite their claims.
So, with that being...
Although there were some interesting developments with that, but we'll talk about that on Wednesday. Shows in this Bound for Glory series have been happening elsewhere, but I'll elaborate more on that on Wednesday.
So, with that being said, also be sure to tune in Wednesday night as Ashley will give his review of tonight's WWE's Capitol Punishment. Again, that's this Wednesday night. So with that being...
Oh, no. Ministry has made a good point. R-Truth will win at still being a loser.
Oh, I do have breaking news for the Wednesday night show.
Yes?
I am probably going to be so shit-faced on tequila, I am going to attempt to eat an ice cream sandwich, smoke a cigarette, and urinate in a garbage can while I'm talking to you guys live on the air.
And also, don't forget that this Wednesday...
It's going to be the first-year anniversary, so that's a good way to celebrate it.
That definitely is. It's going to be our 1-year anniversary this Wednesday night. Again, blogtalkradio.com/WGS Radio, 7 p.m. Central Time. We're going to reminisce a lot about a lot of the stuff we've done over the past year, a lot of the people that we've talked to, we've interviewed. You know, we've interviewed a lot of big names, you know, Al Snow, Jerry Lynn, but we'll get more to that on Wednesday. So, with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Bujo. I'd like to thank everybody for joining me tonight. That's Studley Man Ashley, Reverend Jake Slayer, the CEO of Homicide Incorporated, the leader of Team Gooch, Mick37, WWE fan who's probably waiting to get on the phone with his therapist after the show is over tonight. And we also have Mr. J.R. Hughes in the chat room, and Ministry of Darkness. Thank you very much for joining us here on this very special breakdown and prediction show of WWE's Capitol Punishment. I'm Double B Billy Bujo saying, worship the ground Chuck Norris walks on, or he will roundhouse kick you in the face. Good night, everybody, and enjoy WWE's Capitol Punishment live on pay-per-view.
Louisiana Championship Wrestling presents Scores and Stripes from the Mammoth Skate Center. That's 98 Main Street, Mammoth, Louisiana. You can call them on 318-664-4609. What's all that about?
GCW presents live 100% chance of pain. July 23rd at the American Legion Hall at 3319 Veteran Memorial Drive in Abbeville, Louisiana. For more ticket information, call 337-366-7480.
The WWE Capitol Punishment Breakdown and Prediction Show is a production of WGS Radio and is presented by www.thewrestlinggamershow.com and also sponsored by...
Hi, I'm the Iron Reverend Jake Slayer. And if you're like me, you're probably thinking about contraception right about now. Do you want to protect your nuts from dirty little sluts? Do you want to avoid being in dick bondage? Well, then we have what you need at the WGS store. It's the WGS Condom Pack. They come in different sizes and flavors, and they are definitely like a share shot to the ball. And remember, at WGS, your cock is safe in our hands.
Just to let you know, Rory McIlroy has pretty much won the golf. And he's apparently doing his last shot now, and the American crowd around them are shouting exactly the same thing China said to that guy in Backdoor to China. Get in the hole!